interesting to note is that historically,
The developer will provide certain services to the building manager to enable rebuilding.
real estate is typically financed in Saudi Arabia by way of mortgage over title to the land. Now that's ownership title, freehold title. And in order to give effect to that, there is a real estate mortgage law, and a real estate mortgage, so long as it's Sharia compliant, is allowed to be registered on title to the land. Now, it's very important to understand that that is the core form of security that a bank will accept when financing a real estate project. They'll take other forms of security. If it's a development project, they might take an assignment of the construction bonds, they might take an assignment of proceeds of the project, and they might take an assignment over revenue accounts once the asset becomes operational. But the mortgage is the underlying security. If you hold a lease or a concession or a BOT, that's not considered a form of security in itself. And so you would typically, in that situation, in addition to the ancillary securities of assignment of construction bonds, insurance proceeds, assignment of project revenues, you would typically also expect to provide additional collateral. Now that might be plots of land that the borrower owns elsewhere in the kingdom that it offers as third-party collateral to secure the debt. There might also be corporate guarantees to secure that debt. It in a way undermines typically the SPV structure of a real estate project, which looks to isolate risk within a subsidiary entity and not bring that liability back up to the parent company. So if you move away from mortgage on title ownership to the real estate, and you're looking at creating a development structure, for example, or an acquisition structure of a leasehold interest, understand that that diminishes the bankability of the asset, and you'll have to look at broader financing structures. Now, we should be very careful not to confuse this with a PPP type framework to finance a real estate project. That has its own elements becoming more understood by the banks, but are very complex from a real estate developer's perspective. And in our view, provide for a very complex framework to deliver a very simple outcome. Where you're able to offer title to land as a form of security, it allows you to avoid these very complex security arrangements where you do not have that. It also allows you to avoid having to pass liability back up the corporate structure by way of parent company guarantees.